Hello, families, and welcome back to Black History for Us All. I'm Mrs. Deb, and I'm so glad you're here. Every day this month, we're uncovering stories of Black excellence, stories that deserve to be told and remembered. Because Black history isn't just for some of us, it's for all of us. Last time, we learned about Mahalia Jackson, the Queen of Gospel, whose voice was a guiding light in the Civil Rights Movement. Today, we celebrate another artist, one whose music and activism took him around the world. He was a singer, actor, humanitarian, and fearless advocate for justice. Today, we honor Harry Belafonte. Harry Belafonte was born on March 1st, 1927, in Harlem, New York, to parents from Jamaica. Growing up in Harlem was tough, but his life took a big turn when his mother sent him to live in Jamaica for several years. There, he was first introduced to the music and culture that would later shape his career. As a young man, Belafonte joined the U.S. Navy during World War II. After his service, he was drawn to the stage and began studying acting at the Dramatic Workshop in New York, where he trained alongside Marlon Brando and Sidney Poitier. It was in those classes that he discovered his love for performance. In the 1950s, Belafonte introduced Calypso music, a style rooted in the Caribbean, to mainstream American audiences. His 1956 album, Calypso, was the first album ever to sell over 1 million copies. It included his most favorite song, Deo, the Banana Boat song, which became an anthem of Caribbean culture. Belafonte wasn't just a singer, he was also a trailblazer in Hollywood. He starred in films like Carmen Jones and Island in the Sun, breaking barriers as one of the first Black leading men in American cinema. But his rise to fame came with a price. In a time of segregation, many didn't like seeing a Black man in romantic roles or standing up to racial injustice. Instead of backing down, Belafonte leaned into his activism, using his platform to fight for justice. And that fight would take him far beyond music and movies. Harry Belafonte was a close friend and supporter of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He helped fund the Civil Rights Movement, bailed out jailed activists, and even helped organize the March on Washington in 1963, where Dr. King gave his most famous speech. But this activism didn't stop there. Belafonte was a fierce advocate for human rights around the world. He fought against apartheid in South Africa. He worked to bring aid to African nations suffering from famine, and he used his voice to speak out against oppression wherever he saw it. In 1985, he helped organize the iconic We Are the World charity single, bringing together artists like Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, Lionel Richie, and others to fight global hunger. He believed that artists had a duty to use their platform for good, and he never hesitated to speak truth to power, even when it hurt his career. Even in his later years, Belafonte never stopped advocating for social change. He worked to reform the criminal justice system, spoke out against war and injustice, and encouraged young people to keep fighting for their rights. Harry Belafonte passed away in April 2023. But his legacy as a singer, actor, and activist continues to inspire generations. He showed us that art can be a powerful tool for change, and that standing up for what's right is one of the most important things a person can do. Harry Belafonte's life teaches us the importance of using our gifts to make a difference. I'm Mrs. Deb, and I'm so glad you're here. Use your Every day this month, we're uncovering stories of Black writing or speaking, stories that deserve to be told and remembered. Support because Black history isn't just for some of us, it's for all of us. To fight for human rights. Last time, we learned about Mahalia Jackson, the Queen of Gospel, whose voice was a guiding light in the Civil Rights Movement. Today, we celebrate another artist, one whose music and activism took him around the world. He was a singer, actor, humanitarian, and fearless advocate for justice. Love the
Today,
podcast?
we honor
Help us keep
Harry
sharing these hidden
Belafonte.
stories by donating at paypal.biz/Hey
Harry
Mrs. Dad.
Belafonte was
Next time
born
on
on
Black
March
History
1st,
for Us All, we
1927,
will travel
in
back
Harlem, New
to the
York, to
1920s
parents
to
from
meet
Jamaica.
another Black artist
Growing
who
up in
changed the
Harlem
world.
was tough.
Not just
But
through entertainment, but through
growing up in Harlem
activism
was
and
tough.
resistance.
But his life took a big
Before
turn when
Harry
his mother sent him
Belafonte,
to live
there
in
was
Jamaica for several
Josephine
years.
Baker, a performer who
There,
dazzled the
he was
world with her
first
dance, but
introduced to the
also
music
spied
and
on the
culture that
Nazis
would
during
later
World
shape his
War II,
career.
fought for civil rights, and
As a
proved
young
that Black
man,
women could be
Belafonte joined the
international
U.S. Navy
superstars.
during World War II.
Join me next time as we
After his
uncover the
service, he was
incredible
drawn to
story
the
of
stage
Josephine
and began
Baker, the
studying.
dancer, war hero, and
After his
activist
service, he was
you
drawn
won't
to the
want to miss
stage
it.
and began